Here is my defense of Clare Edwards. So, I stopped watching after JT died because it was just really depressing. But when Clare came in, that's when I started watching again. Because Clare, she's been like one of the most relatable characters. Like, who has like, I don't have an older sister, but I always kind of felt like down on myself and felt so awkward and not pretty enough. And so you do, and that was just, and she's just so awkward and very outspoken and everything. And Clare was that character who, you know, she cares about people. Like, you see those scenes where she helps Darcy through everything, and she's just kind of the crutch, the support, there for everyone. And that's everyone knew her as, like, the person that would take care of Eli, take care of Adam, or help Allie through her crises, or be there for Casey. And she was just the good friend. And everyone's saying since she didn't forget Allie, and she's a terrible friend. I'm like, have you seen her and Allie act together? Like, throughout season 8, they were like, Allie would be there for her sometimes, but there are scenes where Allie's not telling her that she's not pretty or everything, and Allie did get KC when she knew Clare had a crush on him. And honestly. And throughout season 10, Allie was really focused on being popular and everything, and when Clare was going through all these things, she wasn't really caring about, like, when Clare was dealing with her family crises, Allie was out go-getting Drew. So I think when it comes to friendships, they both have their moments. Like, at the end of season 10, Allie, after she went through all her things with her family, she really changed and she grew as a character, and she's able to be there for Clare and give her support, like Clare was able to be there for her. But now, after all that Eli thing, that's, I think, when Clare really woke up, and Eli just dragged her down so much, and she couldn't help him. Like, she was terrified of the guy, because he crashed his car, and that, he acts like that's a totally normal thing. And just to say, crashing your car for someone is not a good thing. It's not romantic in any way. And if you think that, you need to talk to someone, okay? That's not okay. So everyone's mad at Clare for leaving Eli, but honestly that was a good thing. Like, she could not handle him, and if she stayed, Eli would have just lashed onto her. He was so dependent on her. He saw her as the only reason he had, his everything, and you cannot make someone your everything. You have to live for yourself and not for other people. And if Clare stayed, it wouldn't have been good. She would have stayed out of pity, and she would have ended up resenting Eli, and that probably would have led to an even nastier breakup. She got out because she couldn't deal with him, and Eli, he saw Clare was fixing him, but he needed real help. He needed, like, psychiatrists and doctors, and he's bipolar, so he can't, it just wouldn't work, so it's okay that she left. Maybe they shouldn't have, at the end, it was kind of weird because they showed her going to the dance after. I think maybe if they just left her on this talk with Allie that she wanted to be happy instead of sad, instead of her going to the dance, that would have been better. But really, at the end, shows that Clare wants to be happy, and she stops wanting to be the one looking after other people, and she wants to focus on herself, for the first time, really, in 3 seasons, which isn't that bad. So yeah, Clare's done some things, like yelling at Eli Dot, which people hated, but Clare's a person that wants closure. She wants things to be over and done with. Like with Casey, she kind of got closure because, well, he moved on, basically, 3 hours after they broke up, and when she tried to be friends with him, you know, he kind of ruined that. So she basically told him off, and she's like, okay, I'm done. So she leaves. And that's her closure to Casey. And with Declan, yeah, she got her closure. And with anyone, she gets closure, but Eli wouldn't give her closure, because she wants, and really, when you break up with someone, even if you're the one that broke up with them, you don't want to see them all happy and whatever, like, 2 weeks after, when you're still miserable. Like, yeah, so she was at the end, but people seem to look over the fact that she apologized. She went up to him, and she admitted, I was wrong, I am sorry. But no one cares, because, oh my god, she yells at Eli. What kind of a person yells at Eli? So yeah, but then people look over the fact that Clare was actually a really nice character. Like, she met Jake, and she meets Jake, and he kind of, like, yeah, they had a really good relationship. I don't care if they're related by marriage, but they're just really good because Jake's such a nice, easygoing guy, and Clare needs someone that's easygoing because Eli was way too much for her. She needs a balance, someone who can care about her and she can care about them, but also not have to have so much stress of having to be, like, looking after that person. She doesn't need someone who's so dependent on her. And that was Jake. And Jake's not the bad person everyone makes him out to be. God. Anyway. So yeah, and Claire was really nice because even when people were saying like, oh, blah blah blah, you're not good for Eli, Imogen's there saying, I like your ex-boyfriend, can you help me get with him? And she's like, sure, because she wants Eli to be happy. Like seriously, what ex-girlfriend really goes, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna set this girl up with my ex-boyfriend? Claire. So yeah, that goes down. Everything. And about that play Eli wrote, I'm still so pissed off about that. Okay, that is so wrong on so many levels to write a play to be seen by the whole school based on a true story. Like, and his names are so, like, you can tell, like, Clara, Jack, Fritz. Like, everyone's gonna know it's Claire. Because Eli and Clara's relationship, I'm pretty sure, is pretty publicized around the school because it is Degrassi. And Eli didn't even apologize for that. I know he changed the ending, but seriously, he should have never even chosen that as a topic. And people like Fiona, they should have realized that, you know, Eli had this ending, and he's making Claire out to be like this awful person. I don't think I'm ever gonna forgive Eli for that. Because that was not right. Anyway. So we're nowhere to run, everyone is upset with Claire because basically everyone with Claire is that she's changed. Well, you know, I'm 17 right now, and I'm not the same person I was, you know, a couple years ago when I was like 13 entering middle school. I had friends who treated me like shit, and right now I'm not friends with them because I knew they treated me like shit, and I didn't want to be friends with them anymore. And maybe I've been more mean, but that just happens, okay, that's growing up. You make mistakes, you learn from them, and so let Claire make her mistakes, because really, throughout 3 seasons, or whatever she's been in Degrassi, she's been a good kid. Like, when she's a good kid, she got walked all over, okay? Allie walked all over her, Casey walked all over her, Jenna walked all over her, and you know what? It's okay to be sick of people walking over you, because sometimes you gotta take a stand and be like, no, that's not okay. So yeah, Claire is different, but who even cares, okay? Yeah, okay. With not forgiving Allie, okay, what Claire knows Allie did is Allie kissed the guy she liked, and she was, like, telling Allie earlier that she still loved Jake. And, yeah, maybe she wasn't dating him when she said that's my boyfriend, but she thinks Allie kissed the guy she liked and still loved, and she knew, and it took her best friend, even though, because Jake told her that Allie kissed him, which is bullshit, because they both kissed each other, because they were both vulnerable, because they both thought that, because Allie got cheated on. And really, I think Allie and Claire should have just had a talk, because Claire knows what it's like to be cheated on, and she could have helped Allie through it, but, you know, it doesn't go that way. And enough with the whole Eli rescued her, but she didn't choose him. Claire does not love Eli, okay? She said 5 times she likes Jake, and if you're not gonna believe Claire, who you're gonna believe? Who cares if she thinks she's in love? If you don't think she loves Jake, she thinks she's in love. She likes him so much, she's blinded herself that she thinks she's in love with him. And honestly, she doesn't like Eli anymore. And who cares? Like, Eli said he's moved on, she's moved on. Maybe they can be friends. I don't think the writers are really ruining Claire's character, because I think this is a long time coming. Like, she took care of so many people, and now she's focusing on herself. But when she focused on herself, that's all she's been doing. And so sometime, when her and Jake break up, she's not going to have anyone because she's pushed all her friends away. And that'll be her wake-up call. She'll realize that she's been focusing on herself too much, and it's time to, like, you need a balance. You need to focus on other people in your life and be a good friend, but you also need to focus on yourself, too. So that's my Claire Edwards rant, and I just want to say that I will always love Claire Edwards, and I just want her to be happy. I don't care if it's with Eli, Wesley, Imogen, Casey. Claire just needs to be happy, and I will never hate her. So, yeah.